In today's report, I really want to just share my heart about what's going on in the United States of America because I believe the American people have the right to know the truth on what's going on. And to be quite frank, right now, I see the United States of America splitting in half. And I don't mean like a physical split in half. I mean a political divide, unlike we have ever seen before, with Democrats, socialists, and leftists on one side, and those on the right, Republicans, libertarians, and conservatives on the other side. There is non-unification in the U.S., and a country divided against itself will fall. But before I get into the report, I just want to give a quick shout out to my partner at healthwithlisa.com. This stuff, by the way, has done amazing things for my hair and my nails and just my skin overall. And it's collagen that your body needs on a daily basis. So I want to encourage you to check it out at healthwithlisa.com and get the collagen that your body needs. And right now, they've got a discount of up to 51% off. All right, with that, let's dive into the great divide that is literally splitting our country in two, politically speaking, right? For starters, we have leftist radical organizations, Democrat-ran organizations, such as Amazon, such as Google and Apple and Facebook and Twitter and Shopify and Twitch and Uber and all these organizations that belong to the left. And these organizations, like clockwork and very sadly, have been removing people, banning people, and kicking them off their platforms simply for their political view. This is what they're doing. They're saying if you're on the right and you speak about election or anything dealing with the election and the election fraud, you're off the platform and they're calling you a liar. However, in 2016, Hillary Clinton, who put this tweet out, that was completely allowed. What they're doing to one side is not being allowed on the other. So right now, it seems as if Amazon, Google, Apple, and Facebook and Twitter and all these organizations ran by the left have a monopoly over us. You see, the truth of the matter is you and I, conservatives, libertarians, Republicans, need these platforms to run a lot of our businesses and communicate with our family members and people that we know. But the other truth that's happening is, well, we're getting kicked and banned and blocked off of their platforms. To even take it to a new level and ban the President of the United States, who has come out repeatedly against violence, is above and beyond anything that we have ever seen, right? But here's the twist. There doesn't exist anything on the right for any real location for Republicans and conservatives to go to. I've constantly heard from the left, and I'm sure you have too, that Facebook and Twitter and Amazon and Apple are private organizations. They have a right to ban whoever they want. Okay, if that's the case, then let's move off of their platform and create our own. But here's the problem. When we started doing that, because Parler took the advice, the people who created Parler and Gab took that advice and said, okay, if you're private and you're allowed to do what you want, then we'll create our own and we'll allow freedom of speech on our platform. Then the left didn't like that very much either. So what did they do? Amazon, Google, and Apple all at the same time went on an attack spree and literally attacked Parler, saying you can't have the apps on the phone, which by the way would be considered a monopoly because you and I need apps on our phone and we only really have, your iPhone, your Androids. These are the only ones you've got the apps on, right? For the most part. And so they've literally told this company who said, we're going to offer freedom of speech, that you can't survive. And then Amazon, icing on the cake, removes them. So do we have any conservative people that can offer things that Apple and Google and Amazon can? No, we don't. So what's happening is we're getting removed, we're getting banned, we're getting bullied, and we're being told that for our political view, you shouldn't be on here anyway. What are those political views? None of which are inciting violence or hatred in any way. You see, it's the silencing of one side, and it's similar things that we saw in Nazi Germany. And how shall I say this? And I've written this in my notes because I think this is a better way to put it. There is an online gulag, like if you want to call it, where only one side is allowed in this section of society, right? And if we try to create our own, They're even preventing that. It's almost as if, in order to survive in the future, we need to create a parallel universe where we literally have conservatives and Republicans who own platforms like Amazon. Create another Amazon on the other side. Create another Apple. Create another Google. Because that's the direction we're headed. And might I say that that is a great divide in the country? But that's literally what they're forcing us to do. A country divided against itself will fall. And I'm not necessarily saying that we shouldn't. I believe at this point, we don't really have options. The problem is, however, it takes a lot of money. And a lot of people on the right just don't have that amount of cash as the left does, because the left is literally financed by the Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates of the world, and your George Soros types. It's just not there so much for the Republicans, right? We literally have banks, and I've shown this in my other reports, but I really want to hone in on this. We have banks denying people for their political view. We have Uber denying people for their political view. That's almost like saying you're not allowed to have your electricity for your political view. And we have the left saying that's completely acceptable because these are horrible people. And I guarantee you that those on the left haven't even gone to Parler to see for themselves what the platform's like. They just take the mainstream media's word for it. But again, when they removed the president, it caused a political divide in our country, unlike I have ever seen before. And everything has now become political. Coronavirus has become political, right? Whether or not the schools should stay open or closed is political, right? The presidency, everything has become a political divide. And that's truly where we're at. And again, these online gulags are akin to what happened in Nazi Germany. And I say that because they are removing us from online. In Germany, they didn't have online. So what did they do? They did it in all their shops and in person. They said, no Jews allowed in this area. They said, you have to stay behind this wall. That's your area, and that's your peaceful place, and this is our peaceful place. That's called a divide. And they divided the country in Germany. Jews over here, everyone else over here. It's the same thing they are doing to the United States of America. I often wondered, why America's not in Bible prophecy, and I think that really answers a lot of it. But literally, this is what's happening. And I also want to say this right now. The FBI has told us that there is a plot to march on the Capitol, and I have seen this flyer going around, and I reject this in every way. I want to tell you, do not go to the Capitol. Do not go to any march on the Capitol. And I believe they were pushing it. They were pushing it for this weekend. Do not attend this. I personally believe that this is a setup. Do not go. They want some kind of tension caused in the United States of America, and they're going to use it against us. I do not agree with violence. I do not agree with anything that's happening there. So just as a heads up and alert to you, and I've seen the flyer on this, and it's got all kinds of communist-looking symbolism on it. Let me tell you something. Whoever created that flyer is more on the artsy side, and conservatives just don't really have that bone so much, right? So stay away. Do not attend any march at the Capitol. I just want to say that in closing. Anyhow, please don't forget to go to restrictedrepublic.com. I can't tell you how important that is right now, and for a limited time, we're giving it to you for $5 a month using the code Trump. And there's so much additional footage and information there, even without commercials and brand new footage. And also, please join me on Rumble and BitChute. I've got a YouTube channel on both of those, and it's all found in the description. A YouTube channel, on both of those. Anyhow, I love all of you. Everything's found in the description box below. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.